another edition of the Balcony Chronicles. I am your host, Talking Crazy 88. Cigar of the weekday of the Saturday is the La Gloria Cubana Esteli, and the beverage, one of my favorite, it's the Sierra Nevada IPA, Springfest IPA. Even though it's almost summer. Love my Sierra. If anything, I love IPAs. I love Sierra Nevada IPAs. One of my favorites. Not a big fan of IPAs, but I'm a big fan of Sierra Nevada. It's got me through some tough times in my life over the past 10 years. I love this cigar. This is a light cigar, kind of smoky. Espresso notes. So how's everybody doing on this beautiful Saturday afternoon? I hope everybody's doing very well. I'm not going to keep y'all too long because I know you don't want to hear from an old man rambling all day long. So I'll go back. I'm going to say what I need to say and let y'all enjoy your Saturday as well. I'm going to enjoy my Saturday. Really wanted to do a live stream a couple of days ago about the Carmelo Anthony verdict. And I had made some comments last week that stated that this young man's goose is cooked, which it was because the trial was rigged. And a subscriber just let me know that there was a video out. So I was waiting for the video to come out that would exonerate this young man. And it never came out because the attorney was a joke. The attorney that he hired, the family hired for this young man's defense is literally a joke. Now, I've been on this live stream I've done a couple of live streams that black folks, particularly black men, you should go out and have an attorney on retainer. But I didn't talk about what type of attorney that you need to have on retainer, just in case you get into some bullshit. Because as a black man, you will be in some bullshit. There are attorneys out there that will just take your money and just make a deal for you, which is in your best interest. Or you're going to run into some attorneys that will fight like your life is on the line. Even if it's a traffic ticket, he or she will fight like it's your life is on the line. And those are the types of attorneys that I want on my team. And I read about it in Donald Trump's book years ago, before he became an asshole. Well, he was an asshole then. An asshole of a president, where everybody was so crazy about this guy because he had a punk-ass TV show called The Apprentice, teaching business skills. It has a business skills competition in order to work for this punk-ass motherfucker. But anyway, why digress? Like I said, even in his book, he talks about you have to get down and dirty. You have to get an attorney that's mean, nasty, and get down dirty. Because there's a lot of attorneys that are punk-ass bitches. Now, I don't really care for attorneys. I think attorneys will work out for you, or they'll kill a deal for you. If you're in business, attorneys will kill a deal quicker than your ex-wife would. You gotta get some hitter. You gotta know what type of attorney that you're going to get that's going to be an advocate on your side. I don't care for them because I think they're punk ass bitches. And all of them are punk ass, slimy, ethically questionable beings. But they're good to have around when they're on your side. You're going to have a problem if you run into a bulldog attorney that's an adversary of you. And this is what happened here. The family trusted a white attorney because he was up against some odds against a the majority white community that believed that this young man murdered that little white boy in cold blood. First degree murder. He got charged with first degree. He got convicted of first degree murder. You know what that means when you get convicted as a first degree murder? That means you're a cold-blooded killer. You intentionally murdered somebody out of malice with no disregard for human life. I didn't see it that way. I don't see it that way. I don't see this young man being a predator. I don't see this young man being a menace to society. I don't see this young man as a killer. He may have killed somebody, but he wasn't a killer. I haven't heard, in the records, I haven't heard anything deviant about this young man. He was in a community where a lot of families flock to get out of the inner city to live a better life, to live a comfortable life, to live a sort of like a Leave It to Beaver life, outside of the box of reality, outside of the world that they live in, that the rest of us has to live in. From what I hear from the records, what was displayed, it was self-defense. And I believe it was self-defense. I just believe that because the trial was rigged, and I saw it coming, people. It wasn't like I believe that this young man was a menace to society. I don't believe he made a mistake. Yeah, he could have just left. Carmelo Anthony could have left. Could have left the tent with his tail between his legs, getting punked out by a bitch ass nigga, white nigga. Because that's what Austin Metcalf was, becoming a white nigger. I heard some things about this young man. He wasn't no angel. He wasn't a saint. But let's talk about self-defense, people. And I was thinking about this. Whenever a black man defends himself against a white man, it's criminal. It always has been criminal. This is not anything new. This is going back to Jim Crow, going back to Reconstruction. All right? The white man does not have to respect the black man in this country. And there was laws enacted 100 years ago. And it's still going on. It's an unwritten law. It's an unwritten law that a white man does not have to respect a black man. And I'm not playing victim. It's in the history books. It's right there. If you pick up a book and read, it's right there. So this is not anything new. I even talked about the book called Down the Dark. It was a book written by a white woman talking about white men abusing black women, raping and abusing black women. during the 1960s, 1950s, 1960s, during civil rights, where black women were treated like whores. When they're playing, when they're domestic in the white man's house, the white man raped, took the pussy before they gave her pay. It was documented. The women don't talk about it. The black women don't talk about it. They're not going to bring that shit back to the family, to her husband. What her husband going to do? Go down there and confront this guy and get lynched? Get strung up? Get killed? Get shot? This was all documented, and we act like it's never happened. The injustice of black men and women in this country. And it's still going on today. Which is shocking to me that I know a lot of the tethers, a lot of the immigrant black folks, they wouldn't understand the racial politics in this country. That there's a sordid history against black men, particularly black men, and black women in this country were treated less than human. Treated like we're children. Grown men being called boy. And my grandfather down in South Carolina talked about this. And he couldn't go up and smack this white man in the face. He'd lose his job. He'd lose his ability to earn a living. So you had to take it. And you think living in a modern society, you're able to rebel? Yeah, you are able to rebel. There were some rioters out there that during the civil rights movement took that beating. And there were some hitters that, yeah, white man, come on over here. You won't make it out with you'll make it out of here in the hospital, going to the hospital. So we had that. We had the outlaws. We had the pacifists. We had the brave people that went out there and demonstrated and protested. And then we had the hitters. And then we also had our black lawyers that went in and challenged the law. They challenged the unconstitutional laws that was written against black folks. First black Supreme Court justice. I mean, I'm drawing a blank. Fought for black folks, overturning these unconstitutional laws. But still, there's still racial politics that's going on. It goes on every day, man. It goes on every day on your job. As a black man, you're getting fucked with on the job. You're getting fucked with in school. Black children getting fucked with in schools. Being around these white trash. Being around white teachers. I know, I've experienced it. I went to public school. I acted out, but the white folks didn't know how to handle a child like me. Had me see therapists and this, that, and the other. And all in all, I can tell you from my perspective, back in the 80s, I was just bored sitting in class. I was bored as fuck. My mom had to take me out. And you know what the secretary told my mom as she was taking me out of these schools? But I'll say it, damn it, I'll say it. This is PS 95 in the Bronx. She'll admit that. before it became Sheila Meckler School. You can look it up. I was in the class where I was only one of three black children in the class. Nothing but whites and Hispanics living up in Riverdale, Fieldston, Kingsbridge Terrace, Marble Hill. And I grew up in a building called Tracy Towers, which I had to take the bus all the way down, the school bus every morning, all the way down to PS 95, a good 20-minute walk, a good 20-minute drive. To go to school with white children. And majority of my teachers were white. But I didn't know how to handle it. This administrator told my mom that I was going to be on drugs or have a criminal record. 0 for 2 in her prediction. Took me out of that school, went to an all-black private school, and I thrived. I thrived among my people. It's like that scene in Boys in the Hood. A young Trey. Was acting up, fighting, acting out. White teacher was trying to tell him something's wrong with her child. Just needed to be around his father. That's all. So, Frisco Town. So, why digress? It's a tragedy. It's an injustice. And I think we should all try to support this young man while he's incarcerated until they get their appeal for a new trial. Because it was bogus. That trial was bogus as motherfucker. Everybody can see that. It was self-defense. He had a knife on him, but it was self-defense. I just didn't go deep into it last week, like I'm going deep into it right now. And you know what that coon? Well, I can't take Charleston White seriously because he's a performative coon. You know, everything he does is performative. You really take him serious. Just like Dr. Umar Johnson, you can't take him seriously. I wouldn't say anything to him. I wouldn't bring him in for a debate. I wouldn't even talk to him unless it's something, comical. Unless you're trying to clown the guy. He doesn't really care about black folks. Talking about there's some good, he would get a fair trial with all-white jury. With an all-white jury and a white attorney on his side, advocating for it. But we got to talk about these black attorneys now. These black attorneys are just as worse as these white attorneys. All right? So I don't go by race. I go by, are you a heavy hitter? Are you willing to defend me like your life is on the line? Like my life and your life is on the line. I don't want to hear no deal. I don't want to hear a plea. That's what happened in this young man's case. Could have took a deal, got out in, 3 years and went on about his life. They didn't offer a plea. They didn't offer a plea to this young man. That kind of tells me something. And And everybody wants to research this young man's character, Carmelo Anthony's character. Like I said before, man, I don't see a character issue here with this young man. He's just a young man just enjoying his teenage life. Was enjoying life as a teenager. And it was unfortunate circumstances which both parties, Austin Metcalf would have minded his fucking business and sat his ass down. None of this would have happened. He wouldn't be dead. He still is dead. Nothing you can do to bring him back. He's dead. He's dead and gone. Am I happy about it? No. I'm not happy about anybody dying, getting killed. I'm not happy about anybody dying. Because eventually I'm going to die. And nobody's going to be happy about that. I'm not going to be happy if I'm dead. Or maybe I will. I don't know. But that trial, like I said before, that trial is a joke. It was a joke in itself. And nobody's laughing. And I'm not laughing. Now let's go. Let me talk about the father who came out unplugged. Did a video unplugged. Calling watermelon felon. Talking about this young man's parents like he's a drunk and the father's a coward. You know, he's just making himself work. I'm just laughing because this punk ass bitch is making it worse. Making it worse for in the community. Now, Frisco, Texas has a magnifying glass. They got a magnifying glass pointed on Frisco, Texas. It's gonna be in the next Simi Valley. Nobody wants to go. Oh, Frisco, Texas. That's where black children. They were celebrating a black young man getting strung up, getting convicted to 35 years in prison on some bullshit. That Austin Metcalf caught. Let's talk about you know what? Let me go ahead and talk about self-defense because there are a lot of cases about self-defense that I saw when it's white on white. It's self-defense. Okay. It was a bully messing with a 100-pound weakling. What happened? You take out a knife and stab that man. I saw a Judge Judy case years ago where there was this two white guys, right? Two white young men in high school. One was a wrestler, and a known bully was bullying this young man. For almost, I don't know, for quite a while. Met up, wanted to fight the wrestler wanted to fight this bully. He happens to be who happens to be this young man that happens to be about 150 pounds soaking wet, compared to a wrestler, an athlete. He had a knife on him and stabbed him right in the chest. It was labeled as self-defense. The little boy that was a wrestler went into Judge Judy, sued the boy for medical expenses. Judge Judy said, you had no business fucking with it. Why are you fucking with it? You got what you deserve. Case dismissed. And the wrestler, he was like saying his career is over. Can't wrestle, lost his scholarship, lost everything. had a scholarship to go to college on a wrestling scholarship, and you lost it because you got stabbed in the chest 6 inches from your heart. What are you gonna do? You can't be an athlete anymore. You can't do anything strenuous. Your life is pretty much over. For what? Fucking with somebody? You backed somebody in the corner, and he had no choice but to pull out his knife after you whooping his ass. Pull out a knife. Fucking with him for no reason. Trying to fight him for no reason. Pull out a knife. And he didn't want to fight you. Pull out a knife and stab him. Got stabbed. That was your fault. When you fucking with people that you don't know, or if you try to bully somebody and you back them in the corner, what do you think they're gonna do? That's why I don't fuck with people. I don't fuck with people I know, and I don't fuck with people I don't know. It's never, ever, ever a good thing being a bully in this life. Because somebody's going to smack you in your mouth, and you will be humbled. Oh yeah, you will be humbled, one way or the other. Too bad it cost Austin Metcalf his life. But I'm going to support Austin. Not Austin. Sorry for the family of Austin Metcalf. Some people bring shit on themselves. He's not a victim. He is Carmelo Anthony. He wasn't a victim, but he defended himself. He was a man. He stood on business. He handled himself like a man. Y'all hail Daniel Penny in New York City, sneaking up behind a man and choking him to death. A homeless man. A homeless man who was really no threat to anybody. Just talking shit. He didn't put hands on anybody. He was just talking shit. If you snuck up behind him and choked him out, got acquitted for self-defense. Okay? Texas law and New York City law, I guess. I don't know. It's different. But I still see that there's a dynamic, that there is a racial dynamic there. Where a black man can't defend himself, but a white man can play hero, play superhero, and back jump somebody from behind, not one-on-one, but from behind and choke him out to death. I guess. I guess that's the white. When you're a white man, and when you're a cowardly white man, because that's what he is a coward. You get to claim self-defense if you're a coward. But when you're a man, like Carmelo Anthony, face to face, stabbed a man face to face who was trying to fuck with him, who put hands on him, then you're a cold-blooded killer. Doesn't make sense to me. The only thing that makes sense is race. Now, I'm not playing victim, but it is what it is. It's documented. It's history. It's documented history. Pick up a book, pick up some court papers. It's right there in your face. The elephant is right in the room. Let me just go ahead and change gears for a minute. So now we got a renewed. Let's talk about this. We got a renewed war against the passport bros and the dating coaches again. Due to mediocre takes reaction. MTR. Brother went out to Thailand, lost his goddamn mind. Saw how much better it was in the state out there than in the States as far as dating. And this is what it is, it's dating. Nothing wrong with dating overseas. I've talked about it before. But here's what I just got my passport renewed. All right, I got my passport renewed. I'm saving up for a trip to go to a third world country like Colombia, the shithole countries like Colombia, DR. I always wanted to go to Brazil. I want to see what's going on. I want to see what's popping over there. Shout out to Charles Tyler. God rest his soul. Rest in power, my brother. Talked about having options. And like I said, if you use your passport, go overseas and to date overseas or fun fuck overseas, because that's what dating is. Dating is fucking. Okay. Shout out to the great Tom Likas. Said dating is fucking. That's what you're doing. When you're dating, you expect to be fucking at one point. You're not fucking after the third date. Then you're just wasting time. Because the bitch don't like you. The bitch don't want to see you naked. The bitch don't like you after the first date. She ain't trying to get you to her place. Or she ain't trying to get you to your place. Or you ain't trying to get her over to your place and start fucking. Man, you're wasting your time. But fellas, you can do that here. You may not be able to do that with black women. But white women, they love doing that shit. How I know? Because I've experienced it with Caucasian women. All right. A lot of them love fun fucking. You ain't gotta marry them. They ain't trying to get you. They ain't trying to marry you. They just want some dick and that's it. Go about their business. Why do you think they go over to Jamaica? Why do you think they go over to Gambia? The white passport sisters. The white passport sisters. They go over to Jamaica and they go over to Africa. Gambia. These old white bitches. They go over there. They'll go over there to get dick down by Dexter. Nothing wrong with that because white women love. I mean, I'm not gonna say all of them. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that at all. I'm not gonna say all of them. I would say, yeah, most of them. They want to experience some black dick. Yeah. Now I understand, brothers. You don't want to deal with white women. I get you. I get it. But these black women are on some bullshit too. They'll give up the pussy if you're a pookie, if you're a prison nigga, or a bum ass nigga. And the reason why they give up, and here's the reason. They love giving pussy to these guys, types of men, because they have literally no power. Believe it or not, I have more power than a prison nigga. I have more power than a drug dealer. I have more power than a pookie because they can control them and manipulate them. It's a power dynamic with black women. We're owned by black women. Black women have an ownership on black. They feel like they have an ownership over black men because they bore out. They used to raise black children, black boys. They're the ones that are raising these black boys, right? And these black boys worship their mama. Trust me. They worship their mama. They worship the ground their mama walks on. Love my mama, but I don't worship her. Okay? I don't. I'm one of the few black men that don't worship my mother. I don't. And there's not anything that we have. There's any animosity. I love my mom to death. I'd do anything for her. But my mom and my pops told me to be independent. Do your own thing. Get out of my house. I'm all right. I don't need you to take care of me until I'm 89 years old. And even then, get the fuck out of my house. Have your own house. Have your own family. Have your own life. That's what my parents taught me. Is to go out and have your own. Don't worry about me. But I see everybody's now clowning MTR for going overseas. The fuck with the women over there. Which is, why are you having a problem with that? Now, I admit that some of the young black boys, excuse me, not black boys, the young black men from 16 to 25, you should be out there trying to get at these women, at these young women. You should be trying to get at them. You should be spitting game. You should be polishing up your game, man. Then when you turn 25, if it's not popping, pick up a passport, go overseas, see what's going on. Let's see what's going on overseas. Because you're just dating. At this age, when you're in your 20s with the fellas, you're just dating. You're fun fucking, you're dating. You shouldn't really be in a relationship. You should be fun fucking dating. Or if you're doing that, then you should also balance it out with working on your career. Working on yourself, working on your career. What the fuck you gonna be doing for the rest of your damn life? All right? Damn all this game shit. Game comes trial and error. You have to find out who you are and who you are attracting. But even then, you got to work on sustaining yourself. So you won't have to live off of a woman. Okay? Now it's fine if you got a woman that buy you shit, give you money, and all that, but you always got to have your own, young man. Because that's what a woman is supposed to do. A woman is supposed to be a man's helpmate. She's supposed to be behind you. She's supposed to be your cheerleader. And that's the ones that you're supposed to marry. It doesn't matter what race of woman she is, if she has your back, if she's your bottom bitch, as the pimp said, you gotta have a bottom bitch. No, don't get me wrong, I don't agree with the lifestyle of being a pimp. I think they are losers, and I'm gonna do a live stream on that. I'm gonna do either a live stream or a podcast on pimps. It's not for the faint of hearts. Dealing with these hoes, dealing with women that's on the street trading, having some random sex with random guys, and getting and taking money from them. When they say pimping ain't easy, it really isn't easy. But I go along with the terminology. You gotta have a bottom bitch that's there for you, that's willing to take a charge and go to jail for you, just to protect you. Get you out of some bullshit. All right, that's the game. If you can get a bitch to do that, then you mastered the game. You mastered the game. Game is like handling your hose. Game is handling the woman and firing her if she doesn't do what you want. That she doesn't do what you want her to do. That could be either here or overseas. So if you're finding a wife overseas, you're gonna have a problem. You're gonna have a big problem over there than you do over here. Because you don't know the language. If I'm going over to Russia to find a Russian woman, not knowing her culture, not knowing her background, not knowing if she's a Christian, not knowing anything about this woman, and I bring her over here, she's gonna lose her fucking mind. Or if I go over there, she's gonna lose her fucking mind. There's a cat named Phil Cole versus the World. I used to watch his videos. I don't know if he still has videos now. This motherfucker went out to Russia to teach English, and he's up here doing videos with these white Russian women. And he's pulling them. And I'm like, how this motherfucker just lost his damn mind. This is right around 2015, 2016. And I was on that pro-black back to Africa bullshit. And I'm like, man, what the fuck is wrong with this motherfucker? And then as the older I get, it started to click. The motherfucker is just having a good old time over there. He's having fun. He's dating. Is he getting a better result over there than he is here? I guess. Probably. I would say so. I had to open my mind up a little bit. Maybe young men need to go overseas, but knowing the risk. Just know what you want, and know what you're going to get over when you go to these countries. Okay? If you're up there trying to find a wife, it's not going to happen. Culturally, it's not going to happen because almost all of these countries, they don't believe in marrying a foreigner, bringing a foreigner into the family. Most of them are not interested in dating foreigners. So you got to keep that in mind. Or marrying foreigners. You got to keep that in mind. But going out there, see what it is all about. Have fun. There's literally no game to it. Game is just trial and error. Seeing what works for you. And you can't buy it. And it's not sold, it's not told, and you can't buy it. It's not sold, and you can't buy it. Nobody's selling game, and you can't buy it. It's trial and error, people. Figure out what works for you. The way I look at it, with me, I don't know about you. This is not advice for anybody. With me, I know how to talk to women. I listen to them. I let them open up their mouth and tell me what's going on so I can know how to get at them. I know how to get at them once they open their mouth. Okay? They'll know whether or not they want to drop the drawers or not. And it has happened. These bitches dropped the drawers. Some of them did drop the drawers on the first day. Some dropped the drawers during a hookup at a bar. Will it work for you? I don't know. I can't give you dating advice. I can only give you general dating advice. That's what these dating coaches do. They give out general dating advice when they do their live stream. But when you pay $4,000 for a consultation, I don't know. Maybe it's different. I don't know. But you got to figure out what works for you, people. All right, it's been 40 minutes. Let me go ahead and let y'all go. I got shit to do. I know y'all motherfuckers got shit to do. This is talking. I got to finish this cigar and handle some business. Hopefully the Knicks close it out tonight. I'm not a Knicks fan, but hope they close it out tonight. Get their first championship in almost 53 years. Well, listen, this is Talking Crazy 88, and I am out of here. And black men, let's be careful out there, all right?